Martha Coakley is getting used to wearing two hats. For the past month, she's had to balance her duties as Massachusetts Attorney General and her campaign for governor, which takes her to cities and towns across the Commonwealth. Tonight, Martha Coakley is here. Welcome.
Hi, Emily.
Good to have you.
Great to be here.
I'll ask you about a couple of crime cases because they're so big in the news. This very awful murder up in Danvers of the 14-year-old accused of murdering a 24-year-old teacher there. We have this mandatory system here in Massachusetts where a juvenile who's charged with first-degree murder is tried in the adult court. Should that be automatic?
Well, one of the things about that statute, and that got changed after the Eddie O'Brien case, if you recall, is that even though he is going to be charged, the judge still has some sentencing options around the age, and certainly after the latest Supreme Court case in Miller. I think we've gotten to understand there are different considerations, particularly around the sentencing and punishment, but it's so early in this case, and because I only know what we've seen in the papers, it's obviously a horrific event for the family.
But should it be
involved.
automatic? That's what I'm getting at. It just seems like that seems like it was a knee-jerk reaction to the Eddie O'Brien case, which most people don't even remember. I do, because I was working in local news at the time, but should it be automatic, or should they look at the circumstances?
See, I think the key thing is going to be what the sentence is as opposed to how he is tried or charged. And that's what we're more concerned about. What is the opportunity for rehabilitation in case? But, you know, these cases are difficult. You've got a family that's grieving a terrific young woman who should be alive right now, who's not. And so, you know, as this case unfolds, I'm sure we'll get more information about it. It's a horrible, horrible tragedy. And there are a lot of questions about what will happen in the criminal justice system to this young man.
You've taken a little bit of heat, one from a fellow gubernatorial contender, Steve Grossman, about your suggested guidelines for the sentencing in this Annie Ducan case, who is the young woman accused of completely fouling up the state drug lab situation there. You're recommending 5 to 7. I mean, what do you say to Dan Conley or Steve Grossman who say, oh, that's not enough?
You know, we're the ones who worked to uncover this case, to get the information out. It's certainly been an incredibly burdensome case, not just to defendants, but to the whole system. The impact on the system has been horrendous, and I think that's what went into our recommendation for someone didn't have a record before, didn't profit from it. It's a little bit hard to understand what the motivation was, but the impact clearly on the system has been devastating and expensive. And so I think we took into account guidelines that were much lower. We recommended a 5 to 7, and ultimately, you know, in any case, the judge is the one who makes the determination on sentencing. We don't know what will happen. This case could still go to trial. The judge asked us for a sentencing recommendation at this stage, so we made that, but whether she goes to trial or not, the judge is the one who will determine what the appropriate sentence would be. All
right, another case that we're obsessed with here at WGBH, and this is this Ibrahim Todashev, who was the fellow Chechen from the Tsarnaev brothers, a friend of his who was shot to death by law enforcement in Florida. You've said before that your office can't get involved in that, but now that we know that there is a connection to the Waltham murders, your office can take over any district attorney's office. You can overtake any case. And since there was 2 state troopers that we think were there, we don't know because nobody is saying whether they were in the room when Todashev was shot. Why don't you get involved?
Well, first of all, if that had happened, if that shooting had happened in the Middlesex DA's jurisdiction when I was there, I would have taken charge of that. I would have done that investigation. It's in the state. We have control over it. The second thing is, obviously, we want to know what happened. The FBI said they're doing an investigation. That can and should be made public when it's finished. The district attorney in Florida is doing what we would have done if that were up here. We've been in touch with him to make sure that we get those results and we know what's happened in Massachusetts. But understand the 2 cases involved, the Waltham murder, always handled by DAs. Marion Ryan's handling that. The other case that's involved is the Marathon bombing case, which is in the jurisdiction of the U.S. Attorney's Office. So those are 2 officials who also, I think, like we, want to know the results. But to suggest somehow that the Attorney General from another state take on the jurisdiction of it just doesn't make...
You're sort of missing something here. There's a vote of confidence in you. People are saying, we don't trust the FBI releasing a report on themselves.
Well, we don't trust the U.S. Attorney or the district attorney?
Well, the FBI is the one who's allegedly going to release the report on this Todashev case. And we're saying we need a checks and balances system here. That doesn't feel right in this case.
Well, and all I can say is this. We expect to get a report. I think the district attorney in Florida, who is a party who has huge interest in what happened, as well as we want to know the results of that. And so we will certainly take a look at what that report is, what the results are, but there are other officials who have the same interest, as well as the family of the murder victims. Obviously, a lot of parties need to and want to know what's happened. I am certainly waiting for those results, and I think the public does deserve to know what happened in Florida. I have some information. I don't know what the results are yet, but remember, whenever there's this kind of investigation, we don't get those results in real time. We always give the authority the opportunity to do that investigation and then to release it, but it has to be public, and we are looking forward to that result.
All right, we're off to the races on another gubernatorial. It seems like we've had this never-ending cycle of political races. That's because we have. Charlie Baker has said, he's the gubernatorial contender and the Republican gubernatorial contender. He said that people didn't get to see the real Charlie Baker the last time around. Do you feel that the people got to see the real Martha Coakley the last time around, or are you going to show them a different Martha Coakley? Well,
look, I've run for district attorney, I've run for attorney general, and I've run for attorney general since that race. And I think that people have gotten to see me both in office and running. And the real question is for them now, and I think they're getting to see me running for governor, excited about the opportunity to turn this economy around for everybody, to make sure that we have a modern education system, all the things that we've invested in under the current governor, continue doing that. I'm working hard every day. I'm getting a great reception on the campaign trail. This is really about this race and moving forward. I'm excited so far. I'm engaged, and I think people will get to see, I hope, me as the next governor of Massachusetts.
Why do you want to do it?
Because I care about Massachusetts, and I believe that we're at a critical time. I have seen in my position as Attorney General the ways in which we, after this tough recession, can continue to move things around by keeping people in their homes, getting the burdens for businesses lower in terms of healthcare costs, energy costs, but most importantly, making sure that the opportunity for people in Massachusetts is for everybody, not just the top 1%, but everybody has a chance to get a good education and get the job that they want and need. We can do that in Massachusetts. We have those resources. And I believe that I can do that. When I graduated from law school, my dad gave me a plaque that said, sometimes the best man for the job is a woman. And I'm asking people to find me that woman in this case.
Going to Fedway tonight?
I'm watching it. I'm going to be glued to my TV tonight.
Okay. Martha Coakley, pleasure to have you as always.
My pleasure.
Thanks.